So in the last tutorial, we started linking to a file using a hyperlink in Canvas, and I want to kind of expand on your options when you're using hyperlinks. So we're going to go back to Pages again, and we're going to create another page. And this time I'm going to create a Unit 3 page. So let's call this 3.3, and we will call it Extra Assignment. This is going to link to a PowerPoint file related to Unit 3, which is acids and bases in the biology lab. Okay, so let me go ahead. I'm going to start by adding a header. This is going to be called Acids and Bases Activity. And then I'm going to give my students a brief description. So I'm going to say, the following activity is meant to expand your knowledge of acids and bases. To get started with the activity, please download the PowerPoint file. Let me go ahead and capitalize that below. Okay, so before what we had done was we came here, we went to Files, and I'm going to come to Files and go to my Unit 3 Files. And here is this activity, so I'm going to click on that, and it gives me this really long link right here. And let's say I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to this. I really don't like the look of that link. Okay, so I don't like the way that this is populating at all. And that's okay. Maybe you're happy with this, and that's 100% okay. But I want to show you a couple of other options we have. So first, I'm going to delete this. So I deleted that link altogether. So let's say I just want to call this a PowerPoint file. So I just want to call it PowerPoint. Well, how do I connect this file to this? Well, it's super easy in Canvas. All you have to do is highlight what text you want to create a hyperlink around, and then come over here to your files as you normally would, find the file that you want to tie to this text, and click on that file. And so notice that now that PowerPoint presentation is tied directly to this link. Now again, just as we did before, if I want to make it to where this PowerPoint will automatically appear inline, I can click on, well, first I'll highlight the link, then I can click on the link to URL, and again I can click here, and that will auto open the inline preview. So just so you can see, if I update this and I save the page, here's what that's going to look like. Okay, so here is my link that will download the PowerPoint if students click on it. It'll download it here if they click on it. And then here, it's going to actually open up that PowerPoint presentation. So here we can actually see all of that PowerPoint presentation right there. Okay, so that's one option. I'm going to go back in and I'm going to edit this again. Okay, so I'm going to remove that inline preview there. So I'm going to highlight again the PowerPoint text, click on link to URL, and then I'm going to uncheck this, and it's really important that you click Update Link because otherwise it doesn't update it. Okay, so that's one way to do this. And again, I can also link to a variety of other things. Let's say that there was a video that I wanted to link to. Okay, so this is one version of a hyperlink. Let's go ahead and do a second one. Okay, so let's say that there was a particular page out on the internet that I really wanted to access or wanted to share with my students. So let me go here to Google real quick, and let's just do a general search for acids and bases. Okay. All right, so let's say I wanted to go to kimforkids.com. Now obviously, again, copyright issues here, but I'm just trying to do this as an example. So let's say I wanted to link to this page, okay, so that my students could access it as well. Well, I'm going to click in the URL bar here, and I'm going to highlight all of this, and then I can either right-click and choose copy, or I can, again, we can use our keyboard shortcuts and do Command-C if we're on a Mac, or Control-C if we're on a Windows PC to copy that. And then I can come back here, and I can do Kim for Kids. Okay, and if I want to create a hyperlink around this, again, I can highlight that text, and I can choose Link to URL. And then right here, I'm just going to paste that text. So I'll insert that link. And now this is a link that will take my students out to that website. So if I save this, just to show you again, I removed the inline preview for that PowerPoint. So to see it, my students would have to remember to click this. This will help them download the PowerPoint, but now if they click this, it's going to take them to this external website where they can then learn more about acids and bases. So those are two different types of hyperlinks that we've created. One that was based around content I have in Canvas, one that's based around content that's outside of Canvas. But let's do one more thing, because there's one other really cool thing that we can do here. Let's tie some of our previous lectures and pages together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete, actually I'll leave these. I'll go ahead and leave these, but I'm going to put a space between them so I have my link for my PowerPoint here, my link outside of the website here. But let's say that instead of text, I want to put something else as the link. Let's say I want to put an image. Okay, well what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to Images, and let's say I want to have a button that ties to that PowerPoint. Well, I've uploaded a button that I've created right here. I'm going to click on that and I'm going to drop it in. Now this is a really big button, so I'm going to resize it. Let's go ahead and scale it down a little bit. But you'll notice the button says Download Presentation, so I can scale it down a little more if I want to. And there we go. Okay, so there's the button. And if I want to turn this button into a link, I can highlight it, come over here to Files, and then come down to Unit 3 and find that presentation file. And this image is now a link to that presentation. So if I save, now when my students click on that button, it's going to open up or download that presentation. So that's how we can actually use images as links. And here's the cool thing. Let's say I wanted to put in my beaker page. So let's go over here to my beaker page. Okay, so here's my beaker page. Let's say that I wanted to put a link to another page in my Canvas course. I can do that. So for example, if I want to edit this, come down here, I can say to learn more about beakers, check out the lab manual for Unit 1. And I can make it to where lab manual is a hyperlink. So I can highlight that, and I can either come over here to Files, and I can tie that directly to the Unit 1 lab manual file. So if I wanted to, I could come here and I could click on this. But what if I want to instead just tie it to a page? Well, I've got a page dedicated to the lab manual, so I can literally click this, and this is now a link that will lead my students to my lab manual page. So now when I save this, if a student is accessing this and they want to read my lab manual, they can click on this and it will automatically take them to the lab manual page. So not only can you link to files, not only can you link to external websites, not only can you make buttons with hyperlinks, but you can make hyperlinks that literally link to other content that you've created within your course. And ultimately what this will help you do is build cohesiveness across your course to where students can essentially access any piece of information that's related to another piece of information, provided that you decide to make a link that takes them from one piece of content to the next. So have some fun and explore using hyperlinks to link outside of your course, to link to files inside your course, and to link to files that are pages or other forms of content in your course. So those are hyperlinks.